OK, let's bring you some breaking news. Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer.
City's boy is Chelsea's man!
Cole Palmer. Currently the face of the new Chelsea, he's been regarded as the best signing of the Todd Boehly era, playing nearly every game for the Blues, all at just 21 years old. There are some massive expectations for how his career could go, but one really stands out for me, and it's from former Chelsea winger Pat Nevin, and he says this: "He's the one who makes Chelsea special. Cole Palmer could be the new Kevin De Bruyne." So, can he really? Could he be Chelsea's answer to Kevin De Bruyne, who's the club's biggest transfer regret of all time? To answer that, we have to go all the way back to 2010. Cole Palmer joined Man City's academy at under-8s level. The youngster was coming through the ranks at the Etihad, but had concerns over his physical qualities, having been the smallest player in the academy. However, Palmer's father told him to prioritise his technical ability. His dad said that Pep Guardiola, who was then in charge of Bayern Munich but was heavily linked with a City job, wouldn't be overly concerned about his physical aspects. And he wasn't wrong. 2 years later, Pep became the manager in Manchester and immediately identified Palmer as a standout in the City academy. Palmer rose through the age groups, captaining the under-18s in the 1920 season. Palmer scored 15 goals and made 5 assists when City were crowned under-18 champions. He also scored twice in a 6-0 win against Stoke City in the final of the under-18 Premier League Cup in the same season. Being the main man for the youth team, he was called up by Guardiola to train with the first team and was on the bench for 4 consecutive games until September 30th, 2020, when he made his debut in a Carabao Cup game against Burnley. After the full-time whistle, Palmer described the feeling of playing alongside his idol, Kevin De Bruyne, in midfield, saying, "I've been watching him as I've been growing up, and now to be training with him and playing with him this evening was fantastic. He's just phenomenal." After this, he bounced back and forth between the youth team and the senior team, and despite thriving in the youth team, he failed to get as many minutes in the senior team. But this was until one of, if not the best game in Palmer's youth career. On October 16th, 2021, Palmer was brought on as a late substitute for the senior team in a league game against Burnley, and on the literal same day, scored a hat-trick against Leicester for the under-21s. Cole Palmer had arrived, and the country was starting to notice. All he needed now was to be given the opportunity. Despite the quality Palmer showed at under-23 level, he was used sparingly in the first team. Even in short appearances though, he made his impact felt, scoring against Club Brugge in the Champions League and in the FA Cup against Swindon Town. In these appearances, Palmer showed off his technical attributes, like his dribbling in tight spaces, his playmaking skills, and his wonderful left foot. But it was only in the summer of 2023 when he showed off his greatest attribute, his clutch goal scoring. He scored a crucial header in the Super Cup against Sevilla to help City win the cup, and being named player of the match. This was just a week after scoring City's only goal in the Community Shield against Arsenal. It was Palmer's moment. But with the likes of Foden, Alvarez and Kevin De Bruyne all returning to City's squad, Palmer was left with a massive decision. A similar one to what a certain Belgian had made almost a decade ago. Be a rotation player in your comfort zone or build your own legacy. And we all know what happened next. On September 1st, 2023, Cole Palmer signed for Chelsea. He made his debut the following day as a substitute against Nottingham Forest and scored his first goal a month later against Burnley, where he also got an assist. That took Chelsea into their toughest period of the season, where they had Arsenal, Tottenham, Man City and Man United in the space of 7 games. Palmer scored against all of them, showing the quality to be a big game player, especially in his last-minute penalty against the club he'd played for since he was a child. In December, he scored one of the Premier League's goals of the season against Luton and carried his form into 2024 and is tied with Jude Bellingham for the most goal contributions for under-21 players in the world. We could keep going on and on and on. Nobody's really talking about it because Chelsea have just been so bad the last couple of seasons, but what we're looking at is a world-class young player with the ability to create big moments in the biggest games. As a Chelsea fan, I can tell you, we don't really score goals like that, but Palmer's come into this dysfunctional team and providing unreal levels of output. He's already won the Men's Young Player of the Year at the London Football Awards, and he should be up there for the PFA Young Player of the Year near the end of the season. And that's where we are now. So the question stands, can Cole Palmer be as good as Kevin De Bruyne one day? Probably not, but it's not because of a lack of talent. KDB is the best midfielder in Premier League history at this point, and really, they're very different players. KDB is the best playmaker in the world, while Palmer is a silky dribbler and a clutch goalscorer. But when it comes to being a world-class footballer, I think it's scary how similar their paths have been. The talent was clear to anyone in their youth, and when they were under era-defining managers, both decided it was best to build their own legacy. That mentality to leave your comfort zone in the pursuit for success is why I think Palmer can reach KDB levels. Though, it's up to Chelsea and whether they give Palmer the conditions to succeed. At City, Kevin De Bruyne's been surrounded by strikers like Aguero and Erling Haaland.
We got Nicholas Jackson, fam.
Will Clearlake Capital give the club the stability that young players need to thrive? Or will Palmer be another victim to their crazy football strategy? Despite all these things, Cole Palmer's managed to exceed expectations and is looking like one of the best players in the league at just 21. Right now, it looks like the only way is up for Cole Palmer.